Keep smiling.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah Dandashy, joined always by the one and only Steve Turk. One and only. We've got a lot of good stuff happening today. So, New York City just struck a labor deal that every hotel operator in the country should be watching closely. We're also digging into what it takes to compete as an independent right now. And luxury is booming in the Middle East, but in a really big way. All right. Come on, Steve. You ready for this?
Let's get into it.
Yeah. Ooh-wee. Good morning.
Good morning, Sarah. How are we doing today?
We're good. We're still waking up. We're still waiting for the caffeine to kind of get on through, but I don't know.
Did you have a
what
late
that
night
was.
too? I had a late night. Did you have one?
No, not really. Yeah, work. I worked later than I should have worked. I wish it was exciting.
Yeah, mine was, listen, I can say mine was unexpected. Can I tell you
Okay.
how this is what I'm willing to do to succeed, everybody?
Okay. Yeah.
I had an early, my day finished, wrapped up at 5. And I was like, you know what? I haven't been to the beach in a while. I'm going to go for a run and a swim in the ocean. So I made my way over there, had a plan, nice sunset, going to enjoy it. But listen, duty called. We had some work. I needed to meet an investor for our project at Bahia who wanted to see South Beach. So went home, changed, met up with them. I got to see 2 new hotels and make some good connections with our investment team, which was great. Got to see the Unframed Hotel, which is a new brand by the Autograph Collection, which was going to be a Thompson. So I got to see that one, which was very nice. And they have the Vilberquin pool deck, which was pretty cool. And then went over to the brand new Delano Hotel, where I have some thoughts.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Maybe it has to grow on me, and we can talk more about it. Maybe.
We'll definitely
another
talk
show.
more about
I gotta see because it's Tuesday night. I know they just opened Tuesday night when I worked there. It was like the hottest night of the year, or every week. You would have models and celebrities and that. So I know they're ramping up, but it was not.
Like, keep in mind also, just in general, the nightlife scene isn't popping like what it used to. So, I mean, that's a whole conversation for another time. Just people leaning in more into wellness, the idea that like everybody's got a cell phone. So people are like on their phones and not engaging in person. So it's a different climate.
It's different experiences you need. But anyway, I got to see 2 great places last night. So it just shows you got to make some things happen sometimes in the day, and you never know where it takes you. So, but now I'm tired. We were out there exploring till late in the evening.
You're just living life, Steve.
South Beach Steve out there.
Oh, he made a return. Oh my God.
Well, we could talk about some other great things here. We have a lot of news today and some big headlines.
Yeah, we do.
Do you want to get into the first one? This is a big one.
Well, yeah. Why don't we go ahead and quickly do our mention here before we dive in?
We have a big I'm so sorry, especially to our sponsor here. We've got a great sponsor for the show. We're always very grateful for them. We've got Plus Grade. So I want to give them a quick shout out because Plus Grade helps travel companies unlock new revenue through upgrades, premium experiences, and personalized offers across the traveler journey. From airlines to hotels, they're powering a lot of the behind the scenes monetization you're seeing across travel today. So learn more at plusgrade.com. So listeners, come on, check out Plus Grade. That was a good read for the ad. Make sure to give it a shot and check it out.
Oh my God, that was great. Always wonderful and thankful for our sponsors. So why don't we go ahead and get into this first topic here? This is huge. And I don't know how many people have been following this, but New York City hotel labor just reset the national benchmark. And now what do we mean by this? So New York City hotel owners, as well as the Hotel and Gaming Trades Council, ratified an 8-year contract lifting average housekeeper pay. Ultimately, it'll be above $100K a year. So basically, they're now going to be they're just getting paid about just under $40 an hour right now, but they will get paid $61 an hour by 2034. And by the way, this covers 24,000 workers with pay increases of more than 50. If you think about it, I mean, that's more than 50%, like more than 50%. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah. as
I
big.
am dying to hear your thoughts on this.
Look, I will say this. I'm always happy for team members getting the money that they want and need. And I know that housekeepers and engineers and dishwashers and all the people that are the backbone of hospitality really work ultra hard. But this also raises the rate for everybody in a hotel, right? So if the housekeepers are going to be earning $61 an hour, where does the front desk get? And what does the concierge get? And then it all trickles up. And in the end, it has to be covered by someone because the hotel owners, still have to pay their mortgages and all the stuff that they've refinanced, and the energy and water and all those things go up in price too. And all the supplies go up in price. So what ends up happening? Your guests pay, right? So it just becomes more expensive to travel into cities there. Especially when you don't have unions across every single state and city, right? So here in Miami, there is a union, but they're not as big as they are in certain cities. Like there's only a handful of hotels, right? They're only in a handful down here. So,
same in Los Angeles. It's not all of the hotels.
Right. And so it's like it's hard to compete that way, right? So all of a sudden it's you're fighting for a convention at your city, and the hotels are now $1,200 a night at your base hotels because you have to cover all these additional costs. But then you can go to Orlando, Las Vegas, Miami, and those are a little bit cheaper. You may take that business somewhere else. So it's interesting to see how this will go down. I'm super happy for the housekeepers and all the things there. But the other challenge too is when you work with unions, sometimes you can't really hold the team accountable, right? You can't, you have seniority and you have people that have been there forever, and you can't fire people for not doing their job because then they have to go through a whole process with the union to take care of that. And managers kind of have their hands held when they want to give great service because that housekeeper can't do this other position, and they have to stay focused on their role. And there's very strict rules on what people can and can't do. So it's a challenging environment, but it's interesting to see that the union was able to make this happen right before the World Cup.
Well, so I think that's the key part is how they made this happen. And I mean, talk about they used leverage to their advantage. So basically what they said is they were threatening that on July 1st they would do a walkout. And for those that are kind of paying attention to World Cup, that's kind of like in the middle of everything. And so imagine these hotel owners and operators were like, we can't, in the middle of what we're expecting to be a very, very busy time, afford the chance that these housekeepers would walk out. And so, I mean, it was a very interesting strategy. But, also, as you were kind of mentioning, the trickle down effect too, is that you've got Los Angeles. I think that Los Angeles was it last year? They just were able to get we're working up to $30 an hour. I'm not sure where they're at in Miami, but you've got a lot of these other big cities that are like, oh, that was an interesting move, and they might try and pull the same thing. And it honestly, look, it's such a challenging time that we're in just because everything has to be restructured. The rate of salaries are not growing at the same rate that inflation is. That is just and it hasn't for a while. So it's not even just like, and so that's why we have these leaps and bounds to kind of like even try to basically catch up. But if you think about it, $60 an hour sounds crazy right now, but that's even not starting today. That's what they're working towards in 2034.
But still at $40 an hour, $40 an hour, you're working, the full time is 2,080 hours, right? All of a sudden you're that 80 to 100,000, you get overtime, you get holiday pay, all these things.
It adds up.
Hopefully you get better talent, and that's part of the thing. All right, you're going to really have people stick here, and we get great people. And then you have, the challenges in a lot of hotels, where can we find staff, right? Because the rate that we're paying at Miami, I think if you're a housekeeper, is like $18 to $22 an hour, depending on the hotel, sometimes a little higher in the luxury ones. But if you can't fill it, you start looking for the H-2B visa people. Hey, can we go recruit people from other countries? Because we're not paying enough here in our country to get people to be a housekeeper. Because they have to work multiple jobs. So I get it. I don't have the good solution. I'm not an economist, but it's definitely something's going to give at some point here.
And it's interesting. I always wish there was like a middle ground with unions, just in the sense. I mean, I'll say I never actually worked at a union property, so I do have that is my actual experience. But it's tricky because I'm all for fighting and making sure that you've got workers' rights for sure. Absolutely. But it does end up becoming tricky, as you mentioned, when, certain rules inhibit service. And I always think it's such an interesting thing. It's like, of course, there's going to be labor law. Oh, well, you got to take your 10-minute break. Da, da, da. And it's like, I understand that that's a thing, but like sometimes if you're the only person working and you've got I know I would miss my breaks all the time when I was working by myself, because there would be this like late morning lunch rush and I would literally have a line of probably 10 people deep waiting to talk to me. I can't just be like, hey, peace out, I'll be back in 30 minutes to go eat some.
They just wanted to hang out with you too, Sarah. We know that.
Yeah. No, that's more of the nighttime crew. Yeah. That was the Sarah Dandashy social hour. But it's tricky, and you have to be kind of mindful of that. And it's I know that everybody's ultimately looking for the best interest, but it's hard to do. It's hard to do in hospitality, which is a 24-hour business, and it's not a structured business, as we all know.
Yeah, I'll say this: most people know I worked at one of the largest hotels on South Beach, at Lowe's Beach Hotel. No union there. I was able, if a guest needed something like at valet, they were having trouble with their bags, I could go assist.
Yeah.
There's another big hotel that has a union, and I watched my friend, a manager. I was like, man, these people are struggling with their bags, and there's no one going to help them. I was like, I'm not working, but you should help them. He's like, I can't. Yeah. That's the job of the bellman. And if I do their job, then they report it to the union, and then I get in trouble for helping that guest. I was like, that's crazy. So I hear there's got to be a balance.
No, there has to be a balance. And by the way, not just even in hotels. For those that might know, I've done a lot of work in film and TV, and I remember being somewhere on a set, and I don't know, something needed to be plugged in. I was like, oh, I'll just go like plug that in, and they were like, no, you can't plug that in, and I'm like, I mean, it's right there. I'm just trying to help you guys out. And no, not my job. And then also like the legal ramifications and all of that. So, when we talk about this, it's not necessarily just a hospitality thing. Obviously, you've got unions in all different sectors, but I, as somebody who has the mindset of, I just want to roll up my sleeves and get it done. I have like a hard time with that, because I'm like, I don't want to be limited, even though I understand it's there to protect you, but like,
we can talk about the whole show on unions, and if we need an employment attorney, we have my dad who can give us all of the history of unions here.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that would we actually might need to do that. Well, there you go. So that's what's going on. Let us know in the comments. I know that this is a lot of people are just going to be sticker shocked, but it's also New York City. I mean, I was just in New York City. It's not cheap to live there. I mean, it's not cheap to live anywhere these days, but yeah. Are. So, well, why don't we do a quick another sponsor mention here right before we move on. A shout out to one of our other sponsors, Built. This episode was brought to you by Built. They're helping restaurants and hotel F&B teams better understand their guests and create more personalized experience that drive repeat visits. Always huge. So if you care about loyalty as well as guest experiences, it is worth checking out. So head to joinbuilt.com/GMH. So thank you to Built.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Okay. So this is interesting. Our topic here. So Peregrine, which by the way is one of my mom's favorite animals, Peregrine Hospitality is betting that operations is the only moat. So this was interesting. Did you read that? Yeah.
I read it.
Yeah.
First off, what is a peregrine? I don't know what a peregrine is. What is it? You said
it is a type of bird. Yeah.
A bird. All right. I like it. I learned something new today. I did read it. So here's Peregrine Hospitality is doing some really great things. They have 64 hotels. They're valued at $2.5 billion. And they're all owned by their KSL capital partners. And what they're saying is that, look, a hotel, you can't create, it's not like a technology where you can get patents and block things and do these things. It really comes down to operations and the experience that you're giving. But I would have to say what they're doing, which is really interesting, is they were finding kind of like, they have a good mix of properties. They have like these one-of-a-kind, ultra unique properties that you can't build anywhere else. And they're buying those and reinvesting into them. And then they also have, kind of like the lower tier where you have the brands that you come in that are run by Hiltons and Marriotts and Hyatts. But what they also have is Under Canvas is a unique project that they have. Mm-hmm. And I just was at one of their Under Canvas locations in Moab. I saw both of them. and they're able to get really high rates because they are creating unique experiences in these hotels, and the team members they have are the best at what they do right there. They know how to operate, they understand the P&L, they know how to drive efficiencies to make money. And they're saying that really is the moat when you are in management of hotels, right? Because
Yeah.
if you don't know how to manage a hotel, you can lose money very fast on things.
Yes.
And so that's really what they're saying. But they're doing a good job of really investing into these really unique properties across. So if you haven't seen, go to their website, you'll see all the different types of properties that they have.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's interesting just to see. I mean, again, it makes sense. I don't think that he necessarily said anything that's too groundbreaking. It's just more kind of like the facts of things.
Yeah,
Um,
they have again, it's a unique properties you can't build, like an island in Fiji. They have the Fairmont Grand Del Mar. They have the Deer Valley
mhm.
Resort. They've got Outrigger as well, which are really cool brands, by the water and for fishing and outdoors. They have properties in Maldives. Like they just have really unique properties. They mix it in
Yeah,
with under canvas and adventure travel, and then they fill it out
totally.
with their Suites by Hilton and Residence Inn and the others. So they have a unique playbook of really different kinds of things for everybody.
Yeah, which I love that they've got that sort of portfolio. So again, pretty interesting what they've got, what he said and what he's got going on. We've got some other topics. You
Let's
down to
do it.
move on?
Let's
All
go.
right. Oh my
I'm
gosh, you
curious
guys are
your
gonna
take
test
on this. Do you know this area of the world? I don't know it very well.
Yeah, a little bit. I can't even pronounce it. Ras Al Khaimah is doubling its hotel rooms by 2030. So, here, hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this stuff up here. Okay, all right. None of my links are
Yeah,
opening
yeah.
here.
So
So,
what they've got here, they're going to be doing 8,700 hotel rooms today. They're going to grow by 20,000 by 2030. So it's a gigantic pipeline of hotels we all know. The W, Nobu, Fairmont, Nikki Beach, which is started here in Miami, Four
mhm.
Seasons, and the Unexpected. And so they're really pushing to grow this as a luxury destination to go against Dubai and Abu Dhabi. And it's like, man, I don't know where the city is. So Ras Al Khaimah, I looked, they got a great view of the Strait of Hormuz, right? So you got a great, I guess, balcony views. You can see what's going on in the world,
Stop it.
see
Stop
what's happening live, and report back to us. But it's just interesting to see, like, the Middle East is still strong. It says they're still
it.
getting, millions of
Well,
passengers flying in. It's just an interesting time to be growing by that many in that location. So, but those
yeah.
brands,
I mean,
they do their homework too. They're not just opening brands if they don't think they're going to make money. And Wynn Hotels, they're opening their first Wynn casino there as well.
yeah. So I mean, none of these are like surprise names. I feel like for that to be opening up in that region. Obviously, these are high end luxury, which makes sense for the region. And it's interesting because they're also kind of like positioning it as a little bit more. I like this barefoot luxury, but in comparison to places like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, which it's a little bit more elevated and not necessarily barefoot luxury.
Mhm.
But it's again, it makes sense. I mean, all of this was also in the pipeline well before
Yes.
2 months ago, 3 months ago, whenever all chaos ended up breaking out. So this makes sense definitely for the region. I mean, prior to whatever it was it the end of February or the beginning of
Yep.
March?
March.
That
Mhm.
yeah, that prior to that, I mean, the Middle East was the hot region, and so they can't completely scrap their plans at this point. But I think right now it's kind of like where they're continuing on
Yeah.
and luckily there's a lot of capital in the region, and so they can kind of keep moving forward and hope that for the short-term memory of individuals as soon as we kind of get out of this situation.
Yeah. Once the
But
headlines change down, people will go back, right? Like I'm sure that you were going to go to Dubai at one point. I remember at the start of the year, right? Wasn't that
yeah,
true?
I'm
You're
probably
gonna.
I was supposed to go in the beginning of May, but my conference was pushed back to August, and I'm still
You're gonna
gonna
be traveling there.
pursue
So
that.
what is interesting to me is like how you can really make an investment in a city like this and
Yeah.
attract these major brands and really create something from nothing and build a private jet terminal. They're gonna build 2 marinas. They really want to get, the top of the top, most affluent people traveling here to experience this part of the world. So if you can put in that kind of infrastructure and get the people there, everyone will start coming. But it's going to be interesting to see how they make it happen now when it's a little bit turbulent. So let's see what happens.
Totally. Okay, perfect. So let's move on to the next topic because this is kind of wild. It's interesting. I mean, I get it. Brand USA has got a big job ahead of them. So Brand USA here, hold on, let me see. So Brand USA is fighting back to win international travelers. And basically what they've done is they've launched a fact-checking program. It's called Get Facts. So they're clearing up misinformation. And I have to say, misinformation, it definitely we need to clear up a lot of misinformation. So that I totally understand, but it's also, well, I think the challenge that I have with this is that, well, okay, that's one part of the challenge that's kind of holding back visitors, but there's also just like a perception issue, and you just can't fix perception with a fact checker, So, I mean, I give them a lot of credit. They've got a lot of work ahead of them. We don't have the best reputation right now, as far as being just a place that's going to be welcoming for a lot of people in other countries. I mean, I speak to people in other countries all the time. They're like, yeah, no, I'm good. And I'm like, no, you will be fine. They're like, too much is up in the air. I don't want to even risk it. What a shame,
Yeah, there's just, sometimes our image is not good, especially what goes out on social media. You see a lot about shootings and fights and things city takeovers and all the stuff that's negative goes out into the world. And so, look, we're fans. I want USA to do great, but we did have a drop of 5.5% in 2025 of international travelers, while every major global destination reported growth. So we got to fix that. And I like what they're doing with America the Beautiful is one of the things. So not only fact checking, but really pushing our national parks, is we're one of the countries that started this. And I will have to say, because I've been going to national parks this year, that was one of my goals, that it really opens your eyes to a whole different world of our country. Has so many beautiful places to see that aren't just cities, right? It's just a really special thing. And I will say I forgot his, I wish I could say, it was a TikTok influencer. He's from Great Britain, but he came to the US and went across, and he's like, I can't believe this place. How do these places even exist? And everywhere he went was amazing. And he went to all these small towns across the country and was just so impressed with what we have. I think we need more and more of that out there in the world.
Yeah, no, we definitely do. And by the way, this was another interesting kind of stat or figure from this particular article, is that overseas visitors spend about $4,000 per trip on average, which is 8 times more than domestic travelers. This is why we care about other people coming to the US. So again, hoping that at least this kind of works towards part of just clearing up any sort of misconceptions that people might have, and just to remind people that there is so much to explore here, like our national parks and all sorts of other things. So yeah, that's definitely a big one. I thought that was
international viewers. I'm curious what you think. Are you planning on coming to the USA in the next 12 months? I would love to see if you can say yes or no if you're watching us live. I'd love to see what you think about this plan.
Totally. All right. You want to skip our last one and just go into our whose brand is it anyway?
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. We need that music. Whose brand is it anyway? Where Sarah and I, and of course you, the viewers, try to guess what brand is owned by the major hotel brands out there. So what sub-brand is owned by the major hotel brands? And we're doing with, what's the brand today? Le Méridien. Well, I know this sub-brand, but I don't know who owns this one. So viewers and listeners, put in the comments here, who owns Le Méridien Hotel brand? All right, we need some Jeopardy music. Can I guess first? Mine's probably
of course you can.
I'm going with IHG.
I wanted to say actually Marriott, but I feel like I don't know if that's right.
Marriott. Is it Marriott? Let's see, listeners and viewers, who brand is it anyway? Oh man. En fuego today, Sarah. You got it.
What she's talking about.
Owned by Marriott. You see, look, I knew the brand. I'm pulling it up.
You did. Yeah, I know the brand too.
I know the brand. I know their hotels. They have here in South Florida. I know that they've got a bunch, but I got to get better at this. I really got to get my big list of hotels and brands that they have out there. So who got it right out there? Let us know with a thumbs up.
Let
I'd love
us
to see
know.
what you think, but make sure to check out Le Meridian Hotels and Resorts. They've got some great properties across the world. I'm looking at them right now. So
Yeah.
places I would like to check out.
And if you're not familiar with them and their brand, what's kind of cool is just like the style and the decor. It's a bit more modern, but it's kind of influenced by the sea and like natural elements, which is kind of cool. Man, I'm so glad I got that right, because that would have been not a good look if I didn't get it right.
Yeah, that's you. You're Miss Marriott, so you got to make sure.
I mean, yeah. Well, and it's funny because the last time that I did something with Le Meridian was actually in Denver, and that property is really beautiful. So, but I mean, all the properties are great, but I know that one in particular is really stunning. So, shout out to Le Meridian. I love this game.
Yeah, me too. And Doro got it right. So shout out to Doro for watching, and she got it. Le Meridian, she knew it right off the bat. Thanks for playing the game along with us. And I know a lot of you would do it in the car and text me after saying, "I got it. You got it wrong, Steve. You don't know what you're talking about," after you guys listen it on the replay. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it, everybody.
Oh, it's all right.
All right. Well, real time recap here, Sarah.
Yes. All right.
What are you seeing out there in the streets of hospitality?
Well, in the streets of hospitality. Okay, what's been going on? What's been going on? Oh yeah. Well, I'll give a shout out. Last week I was in New York. And was it last week? Or no, I guess it was the week before. I was trying to figure it. But yeah, no. Oh my gosh, what's been going on? I'm a hermit.
I'll go, Sarah. Get it together. I'll go first. I'll give a shout out. We're gonna make this. They gotta become a sponsor here soon. But the company Muse hired me to speak at one of their events here in Miami.
Oh yeah.
So shout out to them. But they had it at a place called The Moor, and I had never really been there. It's in the design district here in Miami. And I just thought it was like a restaurant bar, but what they've created is a membership club. And on the first floor, it's open to the public, and they have a Michelin star restaurant and bar. Then they have a high-end co-working space that you have to join as a member. But the people there, I don't think I can say who was there, but there were COOs and CEOs of major companies that we would all be shocked with, like just hanging out together in this co-working space. And then on top of that, they have event spaces, so you can do karaoke and have a speakeasy, cool little game and billiard rooms, a card room, all these things. And on top of that, then they have 13 hotel rooms. And they actually had the number 13 on one of the hotel rooms, but they're beautiful hotel rooms within this space in a design district that I had no idea existed. So I want to give a shout out to them, because Isam and Giuseppe are the leaders there, and they gave me a full tour of the place because they said they watch our show on LinkedIn. So I wanted to give them a shout out at the Moor. So really cool.
That is cool. That is cool. Well, I'll give my repeat shout out to the team over at Hotel Park Ave. That was really great when I was in New York. I've been kind of laying low, so I wish I had more exciting new places to talk about. But that was such a great property in New York City, 30th and Park Ave. Fantastic. I just love, just because I've been thinking about it, because I just did a little bit of social media for them. But what a cool space with a rooftop bar, their restaurant on the downstairs level. And what it is, it's this reminder, because they recently renovated it, and they really tied into the local history of the area. And it's Rose Hill, and so their restaurant is Park Rose. And then they also have their speakeasy, which is voted like one of the best new cocktail bars in New York City. So it's this cool reminder that you can really make the hotels a space for everyone. Not everybody needs to be staying there, and it can be the spot to go visit too. So yeah, definitely a big shout out for them right now. So there you go.
Random question. Can I finish with a random question? Because I see this popping up a lot down here in Miami now. Are you seeing Mahjong games popping up all over where you're at by any chance?
I think I've seen it on, well, now that you've said this, it's probably going to show up on my social media.
Yeah.
I think I saw a couple things on social media, but not
blown up here in Miami. Everyone's playing it at every table. They're doing like group games in hotel lobbies.
Really?
Like there's like get-togethers around this. So I don't know. I was curious to see how far it's spreading, where this trend is now, because I know it's in New York,
might
Miami.
Be.
See if it's coming your way.
It might be. Gosh, I haven't really been in those spots. I don't
Yeah,
go
you're
out
more-
to
you're a
these cool
traveler.
spots.
It's just interesting to see.
Yeah,
There's
but-
more people trying to get off their phones, off their computer, connect with others in the real world, playing things that are old school games. So it's just cool to see that happening now in hotel lobbies and restaurants, and interesting to see.
fun.
So I'm keeping an eye on the
Yeah,
trend. If you guys are
Yeah,
playing
keep-
Mahjong, let me know. I don't know how to play, but my grandmother does. So she said she'll teach me at 93 years old. So let's see.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, not yet. Don't know yet. But what a great episode today.
Yeah, great episode today. Again, shout out to our sponsors, Plus Grade and Built. Thank you for sponsoring the show. And
Mhm.
listeners and viewers, as always, listen, if you haven't yet, pause this, share this episode with a friend. We shared so many great stories today. You know that they're going to appreciate it if you did. And if you haven't yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate
Yes.
it. So until next week,
Stay hospitable.
hospitable.